Hello and welcome to another edition of A Day in the District, where we profile many of our high-profile individuals who work in and around the district as stakeholders and those making a difference in the lives of our children in the Gary Community School Corporation. I am your host, Chelsea Whittington, and I'm so delighted to welcome someone who is no stranger to our community, for she has been working to get parents involved in the district for many, many years. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Tennille Foster Milsap. Hello, Miss Tennille.
Well, hello, Miss Chelsea. How are you?
I am doing well. I am just now getting you on the show because you've been so busy, and I've finally been able to catch up with you.
Yes, I have been in the district. We've been out. We've been at Roosevelt, believe it or not, since last week. We're out. We posted. We're doing registration.
Yes.
It's always a good time. It's never a dull moment doing registration. And this time we just so happened to be at Roosevelt in the middle of everyone getting vaccinated, which
That's brilliant if you ask me.
It is.
But before we get deep into the enrollment story, I have to let everybody know exactly who you are. Your role is the district-wide FACE Liaison Coordinator. So
Yes.
let's start there. What does FACE stand for, and what do you do in the district?
Well, I'm glad you asked. FACE means Family and Community Engagement. So what perfect title to have to go along with what I do, family and community engagement. So we're always in the community. We're always dealing with our family and our students here at the Gary Community School Corporation, because without the community and the students, we don't have anything.
Yes, and your role is so critical that you have a team so that we have access to parents at every school building.
Yes,
So the
ma'am.
FACE Liaisons, talk a little bit about them.
Oh, my ladies, what can I say? They are the backbone of what I do. I wouldn't be able to do what we do in the community without them. Each school has a FACE liaison. Our job is to come in the building, set the tones for the parents. Each school has a FACE center. The center is built, it's like a home away from home for our parents. If you're in school, we have computers there for you to be in class while you're in the
Nice.
school volunteering. There is a wealth of knowledge in the FACE room. If you're struggling with your child at home, we have assignments, we have packets in the FACE center, not only at each school, but right here in this district at Westside Leadership Academy, where my office is. You have computers, you have resources. So I invite all parents, check out the FACE centers at each one of your child's school.
You know, there's one thing they cannot say about the Gary Community School Corporation, because we are definitely on top of that parent communication piece.
yes, ma'am.
And we have really been working during the time of the pandemic. I mean, it really forced a lot of school districts to be a lot more engaging with parents and stakeholders so they would know what was going on. So let's back it all the way up to March 2020,
Ooh.
when we were like, what in the world is going
Yeah.
on? You got the word around March 12th, that the 13th, we were shutting it down. So I'm sure your phone started to ring. And
Wow.
how did we initially start communicating with parents and the things that we did? What type of resources did we roll out?
Wow. In the very, very beginning, before we even started with the Chromebooks, we were rolling out packets
That's
for
right.
kids.
That's
We
right.
were rolling out pre-K through 12th grade packets for students. So we had every machine in the district running. Every school had copiers running. We had desk copiers running, because we wanted to make sure that each and every one of our students had what they need to be successful. Even though we were in a pandemic, we still wanted them to be successful.
Yes. And coupled with that, I was just so impressed with our partnership with our food vendor, Sodexo,
Oh.
and the whole food
Yes,
distribution
yes.
program, which is still going
It's
on.
still running.
Tell me a little bit about that and how it works.
Well, it's been running since March 13th was the first initial day. Dr. McDonald did not wait. She didn't hesitate. The very next day, we jumped on it. We provided different stops. We provided even drive pickups. We went to family homes that could not come get it. So we are still doing it on Mondays and Thursdays. We are still in action.
Absolutely. And I feel like It has brought us closer together as
Yeah.
a family. Parents who may have not typically reached out to you, they're like, okay, I know what's going on. When the pandemic struck, it really caused them to rely heavily on our FACE liaisons and your entire department to find out what the resources are. So now, fast forward, we're going to talk a little bit before we go to break about enrollment. And as we say in the district, we're always enrolling.
Every day.
But we are looking at a new student system that we're transitioning to. And so if parents and whomever's watching is looking to enroll their child or re-enroll their child in the Gary schools, what are some of the steps they need to take?
Well, first, we just want to we say thank you for even the thought of returning, for entrusting us in your child's educational, for letting us be a part of that success. We tell them thank you. So each school has a FACE liaison. Each school has a wonderful secretary. So we're asking parents to revisit that secretary in your building, revisit that FACE room. We're doing updates. If you are already a student here in the Gary Community School Corporation, we just want to refresh your information. Make sure we have that telephone number and that correct address, because we don't want you to miss out on anything. And if you are a brand new student, we're going to walk you through that process on
indeed.
Infinite Campus into our new Skyward program. So we don't want anyone to feel like this is above my head or I can't figure it out. We got your back. We're going to make sure you're enrolled.
And you definitely do have our back. I know that there are some parents who may be on the fence, and I'm hoping that our conversation today, as we continue to talk more of all the benefits and resources that we offer parents and guardians in the Gary schools, that they will definitely make that decision to enroll with us. If you are just joining us, my special guest is none other than Mrs. Tennille Foster Milsap. She is the FACE Liaison Coordinator for the entire district. And when we come back, we are going to talk more about the resources that are available to you as parents and guardians so that your child will get the best education possible right here in the Gary schools. We'll be right back. Welcome back to A Day in the District. I'm your host, Chelsea Whittington, proudly representing the Gary Community School Corporation. And with me, also proudly representing the district, is none other than Mrs. Tennille Foster Milsap. That's a whole big, a lot of words to say for your name.
It
but
is.
We
But
respect
it's so
your
worth it.
name.
So
For so
worth
long
it.
we were saying, Miss Foster, Miss
Yeah.
Foster. And I think Mr. Milsap got a little miffed by
Yeah,
that.
he
So
said,
it's Mrs. Foster Milsap, and she is the FACE Liaison Coordinator for the entire district. So for those who may not have seen the first segment, tell us again what FACE stands for, and then I want to hear about how you ended up being in this role, because you have a history of being a concerned parent at first.
Yes, I did. Well, again, to recap, FACE means family and community engagement, something that's very, very important to me. When I first began this position that I'm in, I was a parent, just like everybody else. My daughter was started at Bethune. I didn't know as much as you're a parent, you think you know. I didn't. I talked to the teacher about where she should be, what this process is about. And I remember one day I was going home and I was talking to my aunt because she was an educator at Emerson, the original Emerson. And she said, you have to be like a sponge. She said, when you spill something, a sponge consumes everything. It just draws in. She said, you will have to be like that with your baby. You should know what the teacher expects from you as a parent, and you as a parent should know what to expect from the teacher. So I built a relationship with her teacher at Bethune, Miss Rossi, who is now deceased. And I just asked her, what can I do to ensure she gets what she needs to be successful. And she just began to tell me as a parent what I should do, get me a schedule at home with her, make sure I'm reading with her, I'm being creative with games. So I said, oh, okay, I could do that. So when she asked me for something in the refrigerator, I could say, what color is this? What letter is this?
Yes.
What animal is this? Or what train, is this a train, car, or bus?
shape
So
is this?
right,
Yeah.
so be creative. So I started being involved, and then she went from there to Cooney.
Okay.
So
Ooh,
now
wow,
she's a
that's
kindergarten.
old school.
Yeah,
Cooney.
very.
Okay.
Now she's a kindergartner. Now I'm still like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? So I just got involved, and I think I was just so excited about this thing called parental involvement because it gave me an opportunity to share with another parent that may not have been as excited as I was.
Because I was going to say to you, the things that you're doing, while they are commendable and many parents do it, I'm sure that you're witnessing that there are some parents who aren't as involved. It could be because of their jobs. It could be because they're kind of moving around. Maybe they don't have that support of the village at home, you know. And so I want to applaud you for getting involved, and this then transitioned into you working with the district. So I say it's nothing better than having that firsthand experience as a parent. So coming into the role that you're in, you can regurgitate whatever the concerns are, tweak any of the things that may be missing in the parent communication realm. So continue your story. I just wanted to give you kudos.
Oh, thank you. I just think the best part of this was I was them. I was my liaisons. I was in the building. I was just like so excited. You know, you're just like a kid in a candy store. Like, oh my God, I just opened up the best gift ever. And to me, that was precious and that was important to me. So as I began my journey, I was just like, it's something else that I gotta be doing something else. There's something that is just gauging at me, like, you know, it's coming, but it's not here. But the most important thing to me is the parents being involved.
Yes.
Any way you can. We're not judging you if you have to work, because we know parents have to work.
Yes.
We're not beating you down because you're a single mom or a single dad and you have to work.
We want to help you.
We want, exactly. So I just told every time we had a meeting, I would just tell the face parents, there's a list. If you need it mailed, we will gladly mail it to you. We will gladly put it in little Johnny's book bag to make sure that you are just as involved, not at the table with us, but you're involved.
Yeah.
You don't have to be at the table to be involved. Just make a phone call. Send some tissue to the class. I can't come, but I'm sending this.
Exactly.
I can't come, but if you send Johnny with the cutouts, Miss Thompson, I'll cut that out for you and I'll send it back to him. So we want to find creative ways for parents to be involved in the process and in the success of their children's education.
Yes, and you're doing just that. So how did it lead from you being parent turned to the district, real quick before we go to break?
I was at Dunbar-Pulaski, and they were transitioning Dunbar-Pulaski. And Dr. Holmes came to me when we were transitioning and said, I got something that I need for you to do.
And you, of course, were like, what is it?
Like, what? No, I'm thinking like, oh, you got to go here or go sit at this spot. He said, meet me here at the district. We were at the district office. And he said, if you would have it, this is your desk.
Wow.
And I need for you to be the face liaison, the district-wide face coordinator.
And how long ago was that?
Oh, that was about 6 years ago.
Oh, wow. So you have been making a difference in the lives of parents and children ever since. And we want to thank you so much for that. We still have a lot more to talk about. And the one thing that I really am seeing the difference in is engaging parents online. And we're going to talk more about that. Because of the pandemic, the parents have had to do a major pivot when it comes to being involved in the lesson plans, the Chromebooks, and all of the different things that the children now have to do. And I feel like they have gotten an inside look at what the teachers go through, what the faculty and staff go through. So I'm excited to talk to you about that. And last but not least, we've got to hit more on that enrollment. You are watching A Day in the District. I'm your host, Chelsea Whittington, chatting with my good friend, Tennille Foster Milsap, who's responsible for the future of our parents and getting involved. We'll be right back.
It's gross. I don't really want to talk about it.
She didn't want to at first, but I mean, it's no big deal. Everybody does it.
I was ready, totally ready, because we had been practicing this dance for weeks.
He was supposed to take this girl to this dance, but
I sprained my ankle at track practice.
I hate sharing anything personal. It's so disgusting.
For the dance, I let her wear my shoes and she hated it, but I thought she looked great in them.
he could barely even walk.
I ended up taking some pills for my pain.
Yeah, they were my mom's, but
It didn't go well.
If it's not yours,
If it's not yours,
if it's not yours,
Hey you,
don't take it.
don't take it.
don't take it.
don't take it. You won't believe what happened next.
And welcome back to our final segment of A Day in the District. I am so enjoying this conversation with my colleague and friend, Tennille Foster Milsap, who is responsible for sharing information and doing outreach to our parents and guardians throughout the district. So when we left off, we were talking more about how parents now have to get involved electronically because of the homeschooling. Now that we are back in the classroom, there's still some hybrid, some still at home. So talk to me a little bit about the Chromebook rollout, what that was like, and some of the feedback that you're getting from parents, because we are definitely working with our IT department to ensure that they have the training they need, the help they need when the hotspot goes out. But I think it was a good thing because we're going to continue to use that technology moving forward.
We are. We had, a few. My biggest concern was making sure that we make sure the grandparents are okay.
Yes.
In our day and time now, we have a lot of grandparents raising their grandchildren. For whatever reason it may be, but we want to make sure that they are, because a lot of them, I had a grandpa just tell me, I still got a flip phone. What am I gonna do with this? I
got
don't
you,
know.
Grandpa.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, you know what? We've made it so we've been able to some homes, go to some homes, and we meet them on the porch, just so they are aware and they are assured that they're not by themselves. And we want to make sure parents understand you're not in this alone.
That's right.
We're going through just as well as everybody,
Right.
but we are helpers one to another. So we just wanted to make sure that our parents had everything they needed. I was at McCullough the day we started to roll out Chromebooks, and boy, the lines were just
It was crazy.
long.
But it
and,
was great to see.
Right.
Because it really showed that people were concerned, genuinely concerned about their children's education. And not to toot our own horn, but we were among one of the first districts to have the Chromebooks because we were already ordering them anyway to implement them in our curriculum. So there were other districts reaching out to us like, how did you get the Chromebooks? We were like planning ahead.
Yes.
And I noticed the difference in the ability for you all to be able to communicate with parents. Now, Tennille, enrollment. That's your whole thing, I know.
That is my... I want to start in January. I don't want to be, left behind. So we've been out. Actually, it's so funny because my vehicle is like a rolling enrollment machine.
I have seen you pop your trunk, pull out a laptop, and enroll somebody on the side of the road.
But that's how serious it is.
Serious.
It's serious because you don't want to be in school and you have scholars getting educated. Then you just happen to look out your work window and you see a student that's walking down the street. Because I run and I'll be like, hey, wait a minute. What school do you go to?
I've seen it
Aren't
in
you
action.
supposed to be in class?
Yes.
Yeah, so let's figure out how we can get you in. So it is a transition, and right now we are welcoming all our parents back.
Yes.
We are welcoming old, new, and we even welcome and applaud returns.
Yes.
Say, like the
Definitely.
lost son coming home.
That's
I'm
right.
coming home. So we welcome everybody. I always tell people, that favorite number, if you get stuck or you get lost or you feel like it's complicated, don't feel that way.
Yes.
Just pull out your flip phone, Grandpa.
And call
219-881-5828.
5466. I think I have
And
that
we
tattooed on my
are
arm.
coming. We are definitely coming, because we know that every young person, we want every student in the city of Gary to succeed.
And I will add on to that to make sure that they visit our website, garyschools.org. There's always new information there. They can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are trying to use all of the vehicles available to us to talk to the parents and guardians throughout the district. We have a couple of minutes left, Tennille, and I want to talk a little bit about what some people may not know. There is a sector of our population of young people who are homeless.
There is.
And we do
Yes.
also service those young people and make sure that they stay connected and get their educational needs met.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
I deal with homeless and foster students, and these babies are in transition. But the best part of their transition is when they can get what they need. That's the best part. We've delivered Chromebooks to the shelters. We've delivered food to the shelters. We've even went on weekends when parents call and say, I'm struggling, I can't get this, I don't understand it. Here we come. You know, it's like they send up the back signal, the GCS signal, and here we come. We respond and we call and we say we're coming. I try to make sure that no voice of a parent is unheard. If you call and you say, I called, just be patient with me. I'm going to get back to you, because I want to return those phone calls, because I want you to understand that we're not leaving you alone.
Yes.
You know, it may take me a little time to get to you, but trust, I'm going to get to you. I want to make sure you have what you need to be a successful parent, as well as while we're making sure that your child is educated in the process.
Yes, and I want to remind those who are watching that every school building has a FACE liaison coordinator, or a FACE liaison, family and community engagement person. So they're identified specifically for your building. I know a lot of times, because you've been with the district a while, people want to talk directly to you, but I'm encouraging you to contact your school's FACE liaison if you have questions, and to stay abreast of all the different activities happening specifically at your child's school. I can't believe that we are getting to the end of our interview. It seems like I just introduced you to Tennille.
I know.
But I have to applaud you in front of everyone watching for all of the efforts, the passion that you put forth on behalf of the children in the district. God bless you and your ministry.
Thank you.
You have been watching A Day in the District, a program presented by the Westside Theater Guild TV, so that you can stay informed and meet all of the many change makers right here in the Gary Community School Corporation. I want to thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Chelsea Whittington, and we will see you next time.
WSTG TV.
Hello, my name is Dr. Paige McNulty. I'm the manager for the Gary Community School Corporation, and I am pleased to be joined today with the Jackson 5 family members, Tito and Marlon Jackson.
Hi,
how are you? Thanks for being here today.
Not only are we members of the world-famous Jackson 5, but we are proud products of the Gary schools.
Growing up in Gary, our school system afforded great opportunities from academics to extracurricular activities.
And today is no different. This is why we encourage you to enroll your child in the Gary schools today.
For more information, please call 219-881-5466 or visit garyschools.org. And please remember, enroll in Gary Schools today.
Yes,
That's right.
definitely enroll.
Gary Schools.
Strong, resilient.
Built for education.